Okay, DG, we'll get started with the one in Raleigh, noon on Saturday on the CW. 1-3 Wake Forest visiting 3-2 NC State. The Wolfpack a 5-point home favorite at Carter Finley.
Yeah, Chris, we have to start whenever two of the Big Four face each other head-to-head. Although NC State has dominated this rivalry historically, winning roughly 2/3 of the time, it might surprise a lot of people that it's been a much more even matchup over the last 2 decades, which is when first Jim Grobe and now Dave Clawson have become, I would say, 2 of the best coaches in the history of Wake Forest football. Over the last 20 head-to-head matchups between the Wolfpack and the Deacons on the gridiron, dating back to 2004, it is exactly even. 10 victories for the Pack, 10 victories for the Deacs. One more quick tidbit. ESPN has an analytics tool called the Football Power Index, or FPI. Right now, heading into this game, and I take no glee in sharing this information, the FPI has NC State and Wake Forest ranked as the 2 worst teams in the expanded Atlantic Coast Conference. The Wolfpack is right now ranked 16th, the Deacons 17th. Remember, Wake's only win so far this season is over North Carolina A&T, an FCS opponent, and the Deacs have lost 3 straight, all at home, to UVA by 1 point, to top 10 Ole Miss by a 40-6 margin, and then this past week to Louisiana of the Sun Belt Conference, 41-38 in a nail-biter. State, of course, was absolutely boat raced by both Tennessee and Clemson earlier this year, and none of the Wolfpack's 3 victories over Western Carolina, Louisiana Tech, and most recently Northern Illinois came very easily. I do think State is the better team this year, mainly because the Wolfpack has more quality talent and playmakers on defense. In a close game against Northern Illinois this past weekend, D.K. Kaufman, a 5th-year senior transfer from Auburn, who was a 2-year starter for the Tigers in the Southeastern Conference, and a really valuable pickup in the transfer portal by Dave Doran and his staff this summer, came on a safety blitz in the NIU game, sacked the quarterback, all this himself, caused the fumble, and then picked up the fumble himself and ran it in for a touchdown. In a contest that the Wolfpack won by only 7 points, that was clearly the play of the game, and he was honored, D.K. Kaufman, by the ACC, as you'd expect, for that play and his other performance. Davin Van up front, Caden Fordham and Sean Brown at linebacker, Aiden White at cornerback. That's a pretty strong defensive foundation that Wake just does not have right now personnel-wise. And I think that State defense is trying to lead the way while the Pack's true freshman quarterback, C.J. Bailey, continues to grow up a little bit week to week. Final thought on this one, Wake does have considerable talent on offense, including their transfer quarterback, Hank Bachmeier, star running back, Damon Claiborne, although he was injured in that loss to Louisiana. So we'll see if and how much he plays against the Pack. Also, wide receivers Taylor Morin and Donovan Green. But NC State probably views Wake's defensive struggles as a chance for the Wolfpack offense to make more plays, both in the running game with Jordan Waters and others, and in the passing game with Bailey throwing to guys like star wideout KC Concepcion, the talented new transfer tight end Justin Jolie, and maybe even wideout Wesley Grimes, who is a former Wake Forest football player who transferred to NC State during the offseason to get back a little closer to home.
All right, let's talk about game 2.